Authorities have moved to clarify public concerns surrounding the implementation of Building Control Amendment Act 2026, insisting that the new measures are not about arbitrary demolitions, but about enforcing long-standing safety standards. They say one of the biggest misconceptions is that government plans to bring down buildings without due process and have gone ahead to emphasize that this is not the case.
The building process is a scientific process. And if a building has any challenges, that they can be scientifically addressed. So when anybody who is in charge of this jurisdiction comes to whichever project you have, and they give you comments and recommendations, this is a science. It can be fixed. You should fix it. But should you be big-headed and you fail to fix it, there are two options to the committee that is in charge. Either they are going to fix it at your cost to safeguard you and your family, or they will take it down, depending on what it looks like. So no one says, we are going to wake up tomorrow morning and come and put down your building. That's not the case.
They also clarified that requirements such as occupation permits are not new. These have existed in Uganda's building regulations since 1951, but enforcement has been weak, leaving more than 95% of the buildings without proper certification. While the law is aimed at improving safety and order, there have been questions about how it will work in newly created cities, many of which are already struggling with limited staff, expanding boundaries, and low public awareness. Having transitioned from municipalities, their budgets have not changed, yet they are now expected to handle more complex planning and inspection roles. NBRB says part of the solution will come from revenue generated through building permit fees and inspections. This income is expected to support the recruitment of additional personnel.
The good thing with this particular task, it is self-sustaining. People are paying money for inspections. People are paying money for scrutiny. Where does this money go to? What should it do? So while their budgets are small, this particular activity generates revenue. So we are hopeful that from this revenue that is generated, the respective local governments will put it.
At the same time, government is investing in digital tools such as automated systems, GIS mapping, and data-driven platforms to help the few available inspectors monitor construction activity more effectively. The idea, they say, is to improve efficiency so that, even with limited staff, local governments can still enforce the law in a meaningful way. The other issue is the inclusion of large rural areas within the boundaries of new cities. Residents in these areas have traditionally built on their land without formal approvals, and many are unfamiliar with urban regulations. Authorities acknowledged this challenge and say sensitization efforts are already underway. The campaign is aimed at educating the public on what is required, why the law matters, and how to comply.
This is a task that we are going to take. Of course, this whole process has taught us which ones are the most effective means of reaching Ugandans. And we are going to reach every Ugandan through the means they most listen to. So the process has started, and we are going to take it to its logical conclusion to empower every Ugandan to know what they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to do it, and how they should do it.
They stressed that the process has been structured to be simple and affordable, especially for small-scale developments. For instance, basic structures require minimal documentation and low fees, making compliance accessible even for low-income households.
If this building is only 30 square meters, which is that small music, you're supposed to pay 30,000 shillings. But that is all you're supposed to pay. Go pay 30,000 and go back home. Of course, we've received reports that the statutory fees are being inflated by unscrupulous fellows. Someone comes and tells you, I can do the application for you. For this muzigo, give me 500,000. It is 30,000 shillings. And I cannot believe that if you're putting up a building, you can't afford 30,000. You are not employing anyone to design for you. You are putting this on paper yourself and paying 30,000 shillings.
Local leaders, particularly at the village level, are expected to play a central role in passing on this information and helping communities adjust to the new requirement. Officials further explained that the building control law is a critical part of the broader physical planning framework in the new cities. Physical development plans outline how land should be used, including where roads, residential areas, and commercial zones are located. Building control ensures that actual construction follows these plans. Without such enforcement, authorities warn cities risk unplanned growth, including buildings in road reserves, wetlands, and other restricted areas. This not only creates safety risks but also make future infrastructure development more difficult. Under the new system, developers must first secure development permission to confirm that a project is in the right location. Only then can they obtain approval for the building itself, ensuring alignment between planning and construction. Officials maintain that implementation will be gradual, given the high levels of non-compliance across the country.
And when you refuse, what do you want us to do? We sit and say, government, we put our hands on our heads. That's where the challenge is.
The focus, they say, is on education, system improvement, and giving property owners time to regularize their developments. They reiterate that demolition is a last resort. In most cases, technical issues can be corrected once identified. Enforcement measures will mainly target cases where owners refuse to comply or where buildings pose serious safety risks. Lydia Felly Akullu, NTV Tonight.